Hey y'all, it's Zach, the Gulf Coast Gardener. Thanks for dropping by the garden today. We're out here again trying to dodge the rain. It has been pouring rain. My front rain gauge told me we have gotten 3.5 inches since Sunday. Let's go ahead and see what this one back here says. I must not have dumped it last week because it is at 6 inches. That is insane. Well, 5.5. Go ahead and dump that one out. Today, we're going to get 2 plants in the ground. Really happy to get both of these in my ground. One of them is the Rosy Maidenhair Fern. Now, the Rosy Maidenhair Fern is subtropical, so it's gonna be just a little challenging here in my zone. If it gets too cold, it might not return, but planting it in a nice protected area in my back garden, I definitely think it will return for me. Now, the Rosy Maidenhair Fern can be a little cold sensitive. It's more of a subtropical fern. However, a plant lady I trust very much, Kim with Kim's Nursery, says it is winter hardy here. And so planting it in our back garden with this large tree canopy with our fence, that should definitely protect it from that harsh winter wind and help it come back year after year. The other plant is a long time coming, and that is the Muhly grass, or Capillaris muhlenbergia, something like that. That one is a native here to the southeast, particularly in our area of coastal Alabama, and it has a beautiful bluish texture to the grass. Instead of being a flat grass, it's definitely more of a round grass. One other plant I do think I want to get in the ground, bringing our total species count up to 3, is going to be the Virginia Dayflower. Not super familiar with this Virginia Dayflower. My plant friend Kim at Kim's Nursery had this one on special. And it's a beautiful 3-petaled flower. It reminds you of the Tradescanta family, or like that Wandering Jew family. Definitely has those broken stems that you can tell it wants to rhizome out. And so I believe I'm gonna plant that right over here to kind of get that nice texture there. It looks about 2 to 3 feet tall when fully grown, and it flowers at the very terminal end of it. It is very rhizominous, so I do expect it to spread around. So putting it back here in this dry shade area, I hope will help maintain it to just where I want it to be. Now, of course, if I watch it for the next few years and if it becomes a thug, we'll just rip it out. No big deal. I do want to take a moment and show off my hydrangeas. These are the Nico Blues, and these are their 3rd year in my garden. I planted them in the fall of 23. They didn't bloom, 24, and in 25, I ignorantly cut the tops off. But now they're rewarding me with some blooms. This one's a little low. Looks like it kind of got some dirt on it. But I'm loving this soft blue color. The Nico Blue. Now, right behind the Nico Blue is going to be the Tough Stuff. And she's starting to come out with more of a purple. She's definitely going to be more open here and have a lot more pollinator parts. I have all that kind of underplanted this Carolina Sweetheart Redbud, but you can see how beautiful that is. With the little hydrangea bloom peeking out underneath. These still have a long way to go before they're in full show, but I had to go ahead and show you the beauty. So this right here is our Rosy Maidenhair Fern. Isn't this just beautiful? I remember when Kim first potted these up about 6 months ago, and I watched her grow them on until I said, okay, time for me to take them home. You can see why it's called Rosy, because of that beautiful red foliage it gets on its new growth. And of course, the Maidenhair Fern is known for having that more delicate, almost woman's hair frond. Like I was saying, this plant's a little cold sensitive, typically root hardy to zone 8A to 10, whereas it'll be leaf hardy for zone 9B to 10. It gets about 1 foot to 18 inches tall and about the same in its width. So we'll space these out about 1 foot from each other so they can grow into a beautiful clumping mass. I have a good idea of where I'm gonna put these, so let me get you set up and we'll go get them placed and then planted. So my idea for the Maidenhair Fern is we're right here next to our moon arch, and this is our gravel patio with our stick border. Right here is Okara spinach, a beautiful perennial that is edible. And I think I want to tuck these ferns just kind of in a little natural drift amongst these woods. I think it's the perfect light for them. I think they kind of complement the texture of this plant, but also are a nice stark comparison of the heuchera. We can't expect these paper white foliage to go away, and then we'll just be left with our mondo grass, and right here is a camellia. Back there are our roses that are struggling, but we're gonna see what they do. Looks like we've lost the first one, but the other 2 are still hanging in there. All right, so let's get these 5 beautiful ferns into the ground. Now this one here is our Virginia Dayflower. And she gets 1 to 3 feet tall, so she's about her mature height. And it gets about 12 to 18 inches wide, so about her mature width. This one does spread via rhizomes, and I have 2 of them, and we're gonna place them on either side of the fountain. Shade, boggy is what it wants. It reminds me of Solomon Seal mixed with Tritoscanta, but it's its own thing, and it's a native, and it blooms blue, which is even better. The flowers, per the name, only last 1 day. Virginia Dayflower. Let's see what it does for us.
All right, my lovely friends. So you can see I am blessed that my caladiums are coming back. This one here is just a little bit slower than the others. We have our beautiful fountain of triton here. This was a wedding gift for my husband for my 30th birthday, so it's been in the garden now for just over a year. We had struggled a little bit with some seepage and leakage from some minor cracks over the winter. But we were able to get that patched up with silicone and then using a concrete sealer. It was definitely a trial and error process, so I didn't really film it. But now that we know what we're doing with it, moving forward, I can definitely show you that if it happens again. So we're going in with our Virginia Dayflower, and we're gonna place it here between the walking iris and the camellias. Let's get our hole dug. Look at those roots. Now let's do the other side. Happy to report, my bird of paradise is coming back from the root. Did not expect that. I think this year we got down to about 19 degrees one night. So this right here is a native azalea called Mango. We have our Everilla carrot, and then again our pink caladiums coming back. Right here behind me is a dog hobble, but I might get moved. It's not doing too good here. It probably wants to feel a little bit more sun. One thing I do want to prioritize here in this back garden is getting some more mulch put down. All the mulch I put down about 2 years ago has all dissipated, which is what you want. There we go. We got the Virginia Dayflower in the ground. I decided to go ahead and move this one over a little bit. I had originally placed it here. I thought it was too close to this. But when I put it here, it was too close to this. So we moved it all the way over. Let's get them watered in. Oh my goodness, you guys. I think the humidity today is 100. It is not hot, but the weather is just pulling all the water off of my skin. It is Mobile in its finest form, shall we say. Let's go ahead and get down to the front of the lawn and get that muhly grass planted. So you can see right here is our Alta Magnolia, who's put on some tremendous growth this season. Right here is the Zebra miscanthus grass. Beautiful variegated foliage, evergreen, beautiful sea heads. Behind that is our Zebra hollyhock. Right here was supposed to be the Niagara Falls Panacetum. I don't think it came back for me. But right there is where we planted our Muhlenbergia.
Now, I did sacrifice 2 daffodil bulbs. If you guys remember, I had planted 400 daffodil bulbs in this little swoop, and I killed one there, and I killed one on the other side. Right here on the other side, we have our magnolia with our miscanthus and our new muhly grass right there. Super excited. Coming back up and looking at our bed real quick. Our bosco bells have been blooming very profusely. Very happy with these. We had just planted these this spring, and they are glowing a beautiful pink. Moving over here, I do need to feed my petunias. I missed their last feeding on Sunday, but I do want to go ahead and just feed them this next Sunday and not get off track. Let's see, our Gara is getting taller every day. The white Finchorlea is looking stunning. Our Chilean guava is blooming. Look at those cute little flowers. Can't wait till we have some candy to eat. It's gonna be so yummy. So beautiful. You come in and deadhead this sunflower. So far, I am preferring the cool jazz over the bubblegum. Penstemon still going strong. This is Princess Charlene de Monaco. She is a gorgeous rose. Look at that. Oh, she smells lovely. Our gladioluses are blessing us with a show, as well as the white Stokes asters. Look at this vibrant magenta. The rain, of course, has pushed them down. Peruvian lilies are coming back, blooming for us. And finally, so are our Chinese asters. This is the tower mix, and I'm using a peony grid to hold them steady. Look at that beautiful dual color purple. Beautiful fine white. Yes, everything's coming around just beautifully. Have a carding meal rose blooming. And even our heirloom chrysanthemums are starting to bloom a little early. Beautiful. All right, my gardening friends, we did get rained on a little bit, but that's the joy of gardening in the South. We got our Muhlenbergia pink muhly grass planted, and that is complementing our mirrored 17-foot bed with the magnolias. And then we got our Rosy Maidenhair grass planted, and we also got our Virginia Dayflower plant planted. Now, this Muhlenbergia, I have been waiting for 10, 12 months to plant. So happy to finally find some at a good price. These only sent me back $10, so that was great. Let me go ahead and turn you around and give you all a little overview of it. Well, y'all, thanks for dropping by the garden today. It was a little difficult trying to dodge all the rain and having the sweat pour out of me, but I'm super happy with what we got planted in the garden. I really think it's gonna be a beautiful perennial show that'll last for years and years. All right, well, thank you for dropping by today. See you in the next one.